Morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's edition of the MPC Markets Morning Call, 6th of March, 2026. Yeah, look, I mean, a bit of negativity overnight, but realistically, where oil is and what's kind of happened this week, I'm going to give the market a pass mark to only be down a little bit overall. The US has just recovered every single night, basically. You know, we've seen here the Russell's down 3.5, but I mean, looking at the Nasdaq, it's down. I mean, we're talking down 1% in the S&P for the week, down 0.06% for the Nasdaq. And obviously, you know, the Nikkei and the Euro stocks down quite a bit, but they were at record highs. Like, they were outperforming the US and Australian markets. I mean, a little bit disappointing for the Aussie market to be down a couple, but, you know. And we are seeing the continued, you know, like bright or dark green in the software sector, no matter what the rest of the market's doing. I'll cover that a little bit later on. There was a bunch of stuff around semiconductors and, you know, and restrictions on exports and stuff like that, overnight. But I mean, we really have seen quite a lot of that sort of stuff be priced into the market already. As you can see, Nvidia is basically doing nothing. Broadcom actually up 5% on good earnings. That's one of our high conviction picks. Berkshire Hathaway up 2.6% because the new CEO said he's putting in every dollar of his expendable income into the fund. Which, I mean, if he being paid like Warren used to get paid, that's about 75 cents. But look, you know, good bit of marketing there. Very Berkshire Hathaway like. That's sort of got some support. I mean, you know, they're sitting on about 40% cash, and they're getting T-bills. Like, for the love of God, you're pretty much paying for a term deposit for 40% of that fund and paying management fees on top. So I don't know whether I'd be putting my money in it, but, you know, c'est la vie. Walmart got hit. Target actually had a pretty good result. Retailers have been very spotty. These industrials here being hit, you know, overall because the oil prices going up, etc. We went through $80 in oil. Strait of Hormuz is obviously pretty much locking down. Crude's up 24%. It's up 80%, you know, over 12 months. We're just see here, gold, silver, copper, platinum, basically unchanged. And that's not just because that a weekly bar for crude's up 24%. It just nothing much happened. Platinum and silver came off about 6 or 7 for the week, which is around about in line. Silver and platinum are risk-on trades. They're not risk-off trades. I'm surprised that gold's down, but that's really about it. Lithium giving away some as well as uranium, but as I said a couple of times this week, I'm pretty big. I think there'll be buying opportunities there because the big thing about oil, particularly, is you're trying to lock down your supply chain. You need energy, right? And that's probably, you know, and if everyone thinks this is going to be transient, like oil's the thing you lock down the quickest because, you know, you need your constant supply of it. However, if this gets into, you know, any more of Trump's just random ramblings about boots on the ground and stuff like that, it's going to start scaring people into trying to lock down their critical minerals as well. Like he also fired he created a whole new department to not have to fire the cabinet Department of Homeland Security, and then he's replaced it with an acting. He basically gets to circumvent all of the regular approval process to vet candidates, which is very Trump-like as well. He's still talking about, he said a lot of dumb stuff this week, more than usual, I've got to say. He called the supreme leader that they took out from Iran, whose son is the incumbent or the person most likely to replace him. He's calling him a lightweight and all this sort of stuff. It's just, you know, it's we know he's not very presidential, but, you know, it's pretty childish. So I'm calling the SaaS apocalypse narrative officially dead. 7 sessions in a row now where it's been up at the Nasdaq's either been plus or minus a half. outperformed by 12.3% now over the last 7 sessions, and price action has been really, really good. So yeah, look, I mean, we were lucky enough to get onto it early. I still think there is a lot to go in that trade overall. There's an updated version, which, around this 5-pillar moat framework. You just scan that QR code there, you can go to it and you can hover over things and it's interactive and the whole works. Kai Chen, and I'm not going to lie, Kai Chen is our resident AI and agentic AI expert and coding expert. I've very much been leaning heavily on him with this stuff, but approaching it from the experiment side, approaching it from someone who doesn't know a lot about it to, getting out the useful pieces of information so then I can explain it to people who don't have his level of knowledge, really, because as we've all dealt with AI people, they go, oh, it's easy, and it's not. It's just that they've got knowledge in the area. And for us mere mortals, it's it's not that easy. So I'm effectively going to interview Kai for the webinar this month on software. And we'll go through this 5-pillar moat framework, basically in an effort to be able to teach you guys how to assess your own portfolios. Because one thing that the market pundits and the experts are doing a great job at the moment is having opinions. Is one. Extraordinarily outdated opinions is probably the biggest concern. But yeah, this webinar is very much about whatever stocks you've got in your portfolio, trying to apply this framework. And, you can start to have a bit of a research process yourself, because what is being written out there is super opinion based and written by old people, essentially. I'm just going to say it, who don't understand how things work. So, you got to go to the source on this. And I'll put up my hand and go, I'm one of those old people. But, you go and tap an expert. You don't just shoot your mouth off about a thematic that's going to affect every company in the world based on, a research paper from 1978, which there's a few people doing. So before and after, this is the Strait of Hormuz. So this is the normal traffic flow a month ago, and this is the traffic flow today. I think it's something around it's 90% of the traffic not getting through. 2 to 4 tankers transiting daily as opposed to 40 plus. So yeah, everything's ground to a halt, and for every 10 days, it's somewhere around the 0.8 mark for potential effect on CPI or inflation. So you can actually, we're going to post a thing on Mosaic. This is actually beautifully automated by Claude and the Anthropic AI, which is very good at these things, in visualizing data. So you can go and check it out at go to the website, or it'll be on Mosaic for those of you who have Mosaic. If you don't have it, go and get it. So yeah, these software survivors, and we've got an enhanced growth investment at the moment, which is 3 pairs of software stocks in healthcare, in enterprise resource planning, and cybersecurity. We've already struck on half. Given the geopolitical instability at the moment, we are leaving the other half open to play it by ear generally. So if you're interested, it's still not too late. Scan there. You've got to be sophisticated, but you're effectively putting down. It's like a buy and call strategy in pairs. So you get more notional exposure for your cash, basically. But but make sure you read the document and get through. And if you've got any questions, you can contact us. Or you can have a look at the webinar next Wednesday, and if you like it, we're going to keep it open until next Friday, and you can invest after you've done that as well. But yeah, it's a very decent opportunity, given that despite that 13% gap on the Nasdaq in the last week, there's still, to get back to the index since November, still it's like 25 to 30%. So yeah, get yourself Mosaic and you get all of this cool stuff for nothing, free of charge. And if you want the recommendations, it's only $149 a month, and for the premium, and you get some premium content, which is very timely as well. Well worth it. Go to mosaic.nbcmarkets.com.au or go and download in the app stores, and it's available on desktop as well. But we've got some really good US and ASX stock picks in that software space at the moment. If you want to get them in a timely manner, like we did, which we recommended a few days ago, and you've already got that 7 to 10% bounce, then you probably paid for a year's worth of Mosaic already. So yeah, it's very easy to use and delivers everything into the palm of your hand via the phone app as well. Have a great day, everyone. Have a good weekend as well. Have a look out for Bulls versus Bears tonight. We're going to go into detail. I mean, a little bit repetitive, but around this software, around this Strait of Hormuz and the implications around it. But sum up the week and flag what you need to know for next week. But if you're not gonna tune into that, have a great weekend, and we'll speak again Monday. General advice warning. The content presented in this presentation is intended for informational purposes only and provides general advice only. It does not take into account your personal objectives, financial situation, or specific needs. This information should not be the sole resource when making investment decisions. We strongly recommend you seek the advice of a financial professional.